and from, go. This is deck profile on 6 Samurai.
Alright, let's start this off. I play 3 Kazans. Sorry. I think it's the best card in the deck, personally, because it's one that you can spam.
I think if Kazan didn't exist, Gateway would be less broken.
Yeah, if Kazan didn't exist, Gateway wouldn't be busted at all. Tuna, Takamusha. It's the one that you just summon to make Shien, or like Beast and Barkion. I don't use Squire, because I think that card's not very good, but yeah. I use also 2 Kageki. A lot less people are running Veiler now. Lots of people used to only use 1. Now I'm using 2 because Veiler's not a card really anymore. Two Elder. I don't like the build where people only play 1 because it makes asceticism nowhere near as good. I think this card is needed. Personally, and it's not too bad to draw into because you can special it and just overlay or synchro. The one-offs, Hand, Anishi, Zanji, Airu, and Grandmaster. Hand is for popping stuff. Anishi is the MVP of the deck. This card is really good. It saved me so many times. When you have Shien and this plus back row, it means game, because it can't summon, and you can protect your Shien with back row also.
It's good asceticism target as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's good for asceticism on this guy. Zanji, asceticism target for Kazan, only real reason I play him, and he blows stuff up, so he's good against things like Catasta, yeah. It can attack Catasta and things like that. Okay, I really like this card. It stops Fossil Diner, Snowman Eater, and it's an asceticism target for Anishi. It stops Morphing Jar when you're against Dark Worlds as well, which is pretty nice because my friend, he plays Dark World, and I've just won so many games. Yeah, I know. And I've won so many games just through this card, just attacking into Morphing Jar. And the one Grandmaster, I only run 1, but some people run 2 because he's got quite an awesome effect, but you can't summon more than 1 of him, which is a bit of a bummer.
Yeah. But the ultimate dead draw.
Yeah. If you draw that in a handful of spells, it's a bit gay. And over Fiendish Chains, I use 2 Effect Veilers. I think this card is actually needed since wind-ups are not dead.
Yeah, I know. There's so many wind-up players that are equals.
Wind-ups are just not dead, and it pisses me off. It stops Bear. Alright.
And Rabbit's a thing.
They are not dead, yeah. And wind-ups aren't dead, and it stops Bear and Gorilla. And they're good cards.
They are good cards.
And it stops the search from Bear and Gorilla and things like that. Asceticism of the 6 Samurai, because I think this card's the best card in the deck next to Gateway. I think you definitely have to run 3 of this card. It makes Exceeds and Synchro so much more accessible, and I just really think it's a great card. It's never really been dead for me, and it's really awesome. When you're attacking and your opponent doesn't have a response, you can just drop it and go for game.
It's kind of like a marksman for 6 Samurai.
Gateway, self-explanatory. You don't really have to say anything about that card. That card's just too powerful. 3 Uniteds. Draw power. Just gets you to your cards quicker. It's really awesome when you just open up with 1 or 2. Open up with 2 is really awesome because you get to plus. It's like Pot of Greed, but for Samurai. The 1 Dojo. I used to use 2 of this card, but now I only use 1 because I've never needed a time where I need more than 1. If I open 2, it's quite bad because you get a special summon out of it, but it's nowhere near as good because I only like getting this card if I make Shien, because then I can get a monster to support Shien.
Oh yeah.
So I can be so if they go something like Soul Taker or Smash and Ground, you can just go target this one, or if they even attack into Shien, it's good. And it can also make the Shien as well. But yeah, I just think it's a good card. The Searchers of the deck.
Just one smoke signal.
Rotor, and 3 smoke signal. Just search out your monsters easier. I don't know why this card went to 3, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just don't know why.
Has it changed or what?
No, not really, to be honest. The only thing, because I used to use Mizuho in my last deck, because I really liked the way you could asceticism into it into hand to make like a level 3 Exceed. But now that I've got 3 of these, I see no point for Mizuho, because Mizuho is not that good. This is obviously the best searcher compared to the 3 smoke signals, because you can get Kazan and Ishii. It just accesses more stuff. Oh yeah, or Airu or anything like that. What I count as staples. This card, not many people use it, but
I use it.
not in Samurai build,
Yeah.
sorry. I really like it because it gives you access to Exceeds, which I actually use more of. I think I used 9 Exceeds and 6 Synchros, because I think Exceeds are actually better this format than Synchros, and it just gives you access to Abyss Dwellers and things like that. Especially if you're playing Mermail and you mind control their Dragoons or something like that. I think you get to choose the effect.
Yeah, if they get to search or not.
Reborn, just bring back stuff that's dead already. And this one might surprise a few people, but I play 1 MST, 1 Heavy Storm. I don't see the point of using 2 MST, because the only cards you really fear this format, the Samurai, is Solemn Warning and Torrential Tribute. And I know that both those cards, there's like 3 of them, and some people use Torrential Tribute, but Heavy Storm gets rid of like that, and so does MST, and Solemn Warning's at 1, so...
Yeah.
If Solemn Warning was at 2 again, I'd pump in another MST, but it's not, so I don't really see the point in using it. And onto traps. The Samurai trap cards, Double-Edged and Magatama, just the 1. This card is very, very good. I consider... Yeah, exactly. So, if you've already got Samurai in the field and you synchro for Shien and they go Judgment, you just chain this and they pay half their life points for nothing. And,
it's not like no cost, it's so good.
No cost either. But the problem with it is, if you draw into it your first hand, you have no Samurai. That's why I only use 1, because that used to happen a lot when I used 2. But yeah, it's a very busted card. It makes a lot of people scoop. And Double Edge just for aggressiveness.
Yeah, that makes people scoop. Gateway doesn't. That does.
That card does make people scoop. I'm not even kidding. Gateway makes people scoop as well. But this card is just OP. You just, okay, I've made my Shien. Let's make Beast. It's just like, it's not fair. Onto the defensive trap cards. Deprison and Mirror Force. This card is so good this format. I've considered using 2, and I think I might actually use 2, but it's just really, really good. But for now I'm using 1 and 2 Deprison. This deals with a lot of cards like Megalo and things like that, and just Fire Fist cards like Bear and things like that. And this deals with like stuff as well. Everything, just, yeah.
It doesn't deal with Tyrus. That deals with Tyrus.
Yeah, it deals with Tyrus as well, exactly. While other cards like Bottomless and things like that don't. This is the exact reason I'm using Compulse. I hate Bottomless. I think it's like not very good, to be honest. Other people will disagree with me, obviously, but I just really like this card because it's just and it stops Tyrus, it stops Volcasaurus plays. You just go this. I know you could banish Volcasaurus and things like that, but I just like this more.
This can get rid of small things.
Yeah, it can get rid of stuff like set cards as well. Like today I was dueling James and he just kept setting Fossil Diner, so I was just going Compulse and just attack the game.
Yeah.
So it was actually more helpful than Bottomless could have ever been.
And that's chainable. Bottomless is chainable.
Yeah, exactly. And the Judgments, the Warnings, Solemn cards. This card's too good. This card's very, very good. It just... I don't know why you wouldn't use it. It's just too good. And this one just stops summons. I've thought of not using Warning, but...
Is that what you'd cut out for the Mirror Force?
Probably. I might even cut out, like, other stuff, but... Yeah, Warning's quite... It's meh. It can be very good, but it can be very bad. So, onto the extra deck. Boss, what I count as boss monsters. Shien, Beast, and Barkion. This card is busted.
I want those. Really
This card is busted. This card's busted, and this card's busted. If you can get these two out and set back row, you win.
Yeah.
You think Exodia's good. This is just OP. And if you manage to back Shien up with like other monsters, it's game as well. But yeah, I really like those cards together.
Samurai tier 1.5.
Would you say Samurai was tier 1?
Yeah, I would.
Catasta, get over anything that's not dark.
Would you?
Like I went against agents and they just couldn't get over it. I was just like smashed with Catasta and they were just like, oh, I can't do anything. I tapped into Hyperion with it. Black Rose, easy nuking. Just when you need it, so you go Grandmaster. It's quite nice if they got just the Zen mains on field and you make this and you go nuke and they have to blow up their own Zen mains.
Yeah.
Okay, Oroquesus. The reason I use this card is because late game, when your opponent resorts to like setting Maxis or Veilers, you just summon this guy and it stops him from top decking BLS, so you can just instantly just go for game because it inflicts piercing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So like when they have quite low life points and they got no resort but just setting Maxis and things like that, you just attack them and just go for game before they can rip any good cards. Zen mains, easy stall power. Just best rank 3 at the moment, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Leviathan Dragon, beat a ghost. Beat over stuff. Maestroke, MVP, very good. It just saves you so many times. Like I was against James, he set Fossil Diner, just attack into it. It did nothing to it. It just destroyed his Fossil Diner and got it out of the way. Blade Armor Ninja for OTKage. That's the only reason I use it. Excalibur for beating over big monsters, so like scrap dragons and things like that. Acid Golems. I don't use Acid Golem because I don't like its second effect. It's fucking awful. Because you only want Acid Golem around for one turn. That's the only time you just want it around for one turn, and this sticks around for one turn and it adds 1,000 more damage and doesn't stop you special summoning.
Yeah. And then it's still 2,000 after that.
Yeah, exactly. Which is still a heavy beater which can kill stuff. Alright, the boss monster of the Exceed, Shockmaster. If you can't go for these guys, go for this guy instead. He just locks down your opponent and they can't do anything.
Especially if you know your matchups.
Exactly, yeah. If you play in Zector, you go this and declare monster, and they can't do anything. And even if
they can't drop Gauze, can't drop Triad, can't drop Battlefield.
They can't do anything. They can't go Swap Frog or anything like that. Abyss Dweller for Mermail, only reason. And Dark World as well.
Oh yeah.
And Fire Kings, because Garunex.
Oh, I hate that card.
It stops Garunex. For the OTK with Kageki, you summon this guy. Oh wait, wrong one. You summon this guy. And you summon this guy. You go detach, make him 3,500, and you tap for 85 exactly.
Nice.
So, and this can negate a spell of trap as well. It's really nice if you manage to pull them out.
What do you have to have in your hand to do that?
Oh, you can have multiple things. You just make it up as you go along, really. You can just do anything. See, you can have a lot of play styles in this deck as well. Some people play very aggressively. Some people like to play control. I sort of play both. Like, I try and keep cards if I ever go into the grind game.
Yeah.
Because Samurai are not very good in the grind game. They get absolutely wrecked. And the last card, which I would sub out for a Gagaga Cowboy, because this card's fucking awful, Utopia. It's so bad. It's just so bad. I hate it. I want a Gagaga Cowboy. Just if you can get one,
Buy
take it out
mine.
for this.
Buy mine.
I would if I had the money.
And you guys got any lineup stuff?
And Giga Cowboy, because I could have beaten Mermail today if I had Giga Cowboy. He had 400 life points and he ripped Stever. I'm like,
Why do you play the butterfly in its place?
the reason I don't play Pappy is because it's because this. I don't need it if I'm using that.
Anyway, subscribe to Master of Disaster.
V2.
Yeah.
That's my channel.
Thanks for the deck revolve. Bye.